Okay, is the screen visible to everyone? Yes, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so today we'll start with the Six Sigma. This is unit number 2. Now, first of all, try to understand what is Six Sigma exactly. So basically, Six Sigma is once again a philosophical method for achieving the desired quality. So just I have showing you a literature review means I have referred some research papers and try to find out what is the status of this Six Sigma and what are the various researchers talking about this Six Sigma. So the researcher Harry and Schroeder, he has tried to define the Six Sigma as it's a disciplined method of using extremely rigorous data gathering and statistical analysis to pinpoint sources of errors and ways of eliminating them. Means what? So let us go word by word. So Harry and Schroeder is defining Six Sigma as a method. It's a method. It's a method of using data gathering. So it's a method of using extremely rigorous data gathering. So first thing, it is a method. Second thing, it requires to collect data, extremely rigorous data. And third thing is statistical analysis to pinpoint sources of errors. So third point in this definition is whatever the data is collected, it required to be processed through statistical methods. So various statistical methods is available in the mathematics. So when you are doing the average kind of thing or standard deviation, eigenvalue, eigenvector, factor analysis. Okay, so all these are the various things. Then the regression analysis. All these are the statistical analysis. So what is trying to say about Six Sigma is it's a method of using what to use extremely data gathering, and whatever the data is collected, that has to be whatever the data is collected, that has to be analyzed statistically. So by using statistical analysis tools. For what reason? To find out the sources of errors, sources of reworks, and ways of eliminating them. And ways of eliminating them. So Six Sigma is a method of using extremely data gathering. Now, what does it mean? Let us say, let us consider that last time also I have given the example. Let us say you want to find out which is the most important factor which causes the delay in the project. So, projects are delayed because of various factors. You can say the various reasons. But we want to understand or we want to find out which are the most important 3 factors or 5 factors out of these 20, 30 factors. So that I have to find out. So what I'm trying to do here, first of all, what we'll do, we will first identify what are the factors, what are the reasons which causes delay in the project, in the construction project. Okay. So let us say that there are 30 factors. Okay, let us say there are 30 factors which you have identified by using some research, by studying some books, or by reviewing some papers. Now, in this 30, out of these 30, you have to find out the 5 important factors. 5 important factors. So, how to find out the 5 important factors? So, what here we have to do? We have to take the help of mathematics, and in the mathematics, statistical approach. So, one of the method I know how to do these things. So, what we do usually. So, what we do usually in this case, Uh, we have identified the 30 factors. Okay. And I have to find out the most important 5 factors. So here we are using the questionnaire survey tool. So you have to formulate 30 questions for 30 factors. Okay. So let us consider that you have formulated 30 questions for 30 factors. And you are trying to find out the answers for these questions. So answers in the form of what? In the form of rating. In the form of rating. So rating means this is called as a Likert scale. Likert scale. Likert scale has a Likert scientist has invented this kind of scale, which is called as a Likert scale. So while you are asking a question on each factor, you are asking a person to rate the answer in terms of 1 to 5 scale. So 1 is the less important and 5 is the most important. So 1 is the less important and 5 is the most important. So all these types of all these questions are prepared. So this is called as a questionnaire survey. Then you have to circulate this questionnaire survey to the concerned persons. So which are the concerned persons who will give the answer about this? Which are the most important factors in the delay? So basically the people who are associated with the construction projects, like architect, then the project manager, then site engineers. Okay. So you have circulated this questionnaire to these various stakeholders. These are called as stakeholders because they are aware of what are the reasons based on their experience. So they have formulated, you have sent this questionnaire to these people, these stakeholders, and then they have to rate it from 1 to 5. Okay. So let us assume that the questionnaire is sent to the 100 stakeholders, which consist of architect, engineers, contractors, project managers. Okay. Now they have rated it from 1 to 5 scale. So all this data is with you now. Now you have to analyze this data to find out which are the most important 5 factors out of these 30 factors. So here we are using the statistical method. Here we are using the statistical method. Okay. So what we are doing in this case, there is a software SPSS. So by using the SPSS software, we are feeding all this data in the software. Data means what data? These ratings, 1 to 5 ratings for each questions. And then we are using some mathematical process. And from that process, we can find out which are the most important 5 factors. So in this case, we are doing one thing also, because whatever the data we have collected from these 100 persons, let us assume that all these 100 persons, all 100 stakeholders has answered all the question to a rating of 5. So everybody is giving the 5 rating. 5 rating means most important factor. 5 means most important and 1 means less important. So what will happen? Whether this data is appropriate. So data is not appropriate because everybody is saying that this is important. Everybody is saying all the factors are most important. So there are some mathematical tools by which we can find out or we can validate the data, whether this data is appropriate for further processing. So here we are using some tool, and that by using that tool we can find out whether this data is appropriate. And then we are going for factor analysis, wherein we are finding out eigenvalues, eigenvector, all these things are there. And then you are at the end you are coming with the conclusion that these are the 5 important factors. So why I'm saying, why I'm telling all this thing to you, because what kind of data we are collecting, what is the statistical analysis procedure, and then we have to make the conclusion. So same logic is here in this definition is that you have to collect the data related to particular construction activity. What is Six Sigma? It's a measurement of quality, quality measurement tool. So there is no equation available for Six Sigma. There is no formula available for Six Sigma. So what we have to do? We have to collect the data. We have to process it. Process means by using statistical analysis tools. And then you have to find out which are the points where which are the reasons, which are the causes for the errors, for the low quality, for the rework, that we have to find out, and after finding out that we have to make the necessary changes. Then there is another scientist, SNE. He has defined Six Sigma as it should be a strategic approach that work across all processes, products, company function and industry. What he is suggesting that it should be a strategy of a organization. Six Sigma must be a strategic approach. So, and we should work. So that strategic approach must be applicable to processes. Processes means what? So when we are running any organization, business kind of thing, or where raw material is converted into final product. Okay, raw material gets converted into final product. So raw material will get converted into final product. So it has to go through various processes. It has to go through various processes. So we are talking about that processes. So processes, then product itself, whatever the product is manufactured, that product we are talking about. Company functions. Company function means the communication system, department to department coordination system, the work culture in the department, work culture in the organization, work culture in the company. At every level, this should be an approach. That is what SNE is saying. Six Sigma should be a strategic approach, and that approach must work across all the processes, product, company function, and industries. Okay. Now, another scientist, Pandey, he has defined Six Sigma as, just he has given the different kind of definition, a way of measuring processes. So what he is talking about, Six Sigma is a method of measuring the processes. Now take an example of concreting process. So if you want to measure a concreting process, how will you measure a concreting process for quality? Yes, anyone? We are manufacturing a concrete. So, and that manufacturing of a concrete process, I have to measure. I have to confirm it whether it has got quality or not. How to confirm this? Anyone? How to confirm whether the whatever the concrete has been manufactured is of desired quality? Yes. How to find out this? Anyone? Six Sigma is what? A way of measuring process. So it is a method of measurement of processes. Next part is important. A goal of near perfection represented by. So it is representing some perfection. A number is representing some perfection. So Six Sigma is a number which represents a number, perfection, which is represented by. That number is representing what? That number is representing 3.4 defects per million opportunities. Means what? 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So 1 million is 10 lakh. So the Six Sigma level, what is the expectation of Six Sigma level? Let us consider that 10 lakh or 1 million products have been manufactured. So out of this 1 lakh, sorry, out of this 10 lakh, whatever the products we have manufactured, that has to be, if that has to be that product we have verified. What we are finding out of these 10 lakh products, 3.4 products are found to be defective, That kind of perfection is expected in Six Sigma. Try to understand this thing. A company is manufactured 10 lakh products. A company has manufactured 10 lakh products and they have tested it. Out of these 10 lakh products, 3.4 products have found as a defective. So we are rejecting the 3.4 products out of 10 lakh. So that kind of perfection is expected in Six Sigma. So it's a way of measuring process, a goal of near perfection represented by 3.4 defects per million opportunities. Okay, so means we can find out a Six Sigma level for any kind of process. So there is no method given. We have to define our own method. So at what thing you are finding, or at what is the your Six Sigma level? Six Sigma is the highest quality level. So there is 1 level, 2 level, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Six Sigma is the highest quality level. So we have to define for our own product what we are expecting or what is our Six Sigma level. What Pandey is saying, the 3.4 defects per million opportunity is the standard we have set. So out of 10 lakh, 3.4 products are defective. It's okay, means we are at Six Sigma level. So that kind of perfection is expected in Six Sigma. Now let us go with the history of Six Sigma. Now I will show you how to do this, because this is given in the definition that 3.4 defects per million opportunity. So actually I will show the practically how this concept can be applied to our construction activities. How to apply this particular concept to the construction activities. So we will select one of the activity and we'll try to find out how to find out Six Sigma level for that activity. So I will show you in the next part. Just try to understand for the Six Sigma. The Six Sigma is the quality parameter. So what is the history of Six Sigma? So in 1920 to 1940, that was the period where it was observed that, or it was there was a thought in the organization industries that excellence can be achieved only through inspection. So they have given more thought on the inspection part of the product. So that was the period when excellence through inspection was started. So this was how the quality of products was maintained by quality controlling inspection department in companies. So from 1920 to 1940, more emphasis was given on inspection part of the product. So at that time, there was a thought process that if the inspection is perfect, if the inspection of the product is perfect, then we can say that our product is excellent product. So more emphasis given on the quality controlling inspection department. Then from 1940 to 1960, here the statistical process control concept was evolved. So here we are actually using the mathematical tools. We are using some mathematical tools for finding out the variation in the products, or finding out the variation in the products, so as to maintain the desired quality. So 1940 to 1960 showed us that statistical process control, wherein statistical techniques were used. So actually we are using some mathematical tools, statistical techniques, to reduce variability in the products. And this was how quality was controlled, or rather maintained. So from 1940 to 1960, statistical methods were used to find out what is the why there is a variation in the products. So that if there is a less variation in the products, whatever the specification we have decided or we have standardized, same specifications are reflected in the final products. And this is how the quality was controlled. So from 1920 to 1940, inspection was considered as an important aspect. Then from 1940 to 1960, statistical process control techniques were used. We are going to see the 7 statistical tools, quality control tools, in the coming lectures. We are actually going to see all these things. Then in 1960 to 1980, there was the phase where companies starting adopting TQM philosophy. So for this 1960 to 1980, the companies have decided to adopt the TQM philosophy, total quality management philosophy. And they were given more emphasis on, or the organizations are turned towards quality assurance aspect of the product. The Six Sigma is basically a statistical based approach. Statistical based approach means what? In the statistical based approach, there are some observations, then we are using some statistical tools, and then we are coming to the final conclusion. Okay. So Six Sigma is a statistical based approach and a method of continuous improvement, which enables companies to eliminate defects in. So Six Sigma method, or we can say the Six Sigma philosophy, is a statistical based approach which helps in continuous improvement of the organization, and this also helps companies or the organization to eliminate defects in service, process, and more importantly, product. So the advantage of Six Sigma is you can eliminate the defects in the services. In the process we are used to complete a product, to manufacture a product, and most importantly, if process is accurate, whatever the service provided are accurate or non-defective processes are adopted, non-defective services are adopted, means our product is also non-defective. So this is the history of Six Sigma. So what are the principles of Six Sigma? So first principles we are adopting when we are talking about the Six Sigma methodology or Six Sigma method or Six Sigma statistical approach is identify the root cause of the defects. Identify the root cause of defects. Okay. Identify the root cause of defect. Identify the root cause of the defects. Means variation in the product. Then actively eliminating variations and continuously improving the process. So what are the root cause, or what are the reasons for the root cause, or what are the reasons for the variation which have been identified? They have to eliminate. We have to eliminate by using some updation in the process. So eliminate the variation is the next step, and after eliminate the variation, improve the procedure, because whatever the variations are occurring because of some processes. Okay, we are changing the process, or if you want to eliminate the variation, definitely we have to change the process. So that is what written here, and not only at that point of time, but continuously improve upon the procedure. Procedure means what? The technology, we can say the process of doing the work, the process of conducting any activity, process of executing any activity. That is what the meaning of the procedure. Then in the Six Sigma, the focus should be always on requirements of the customers. So the focus on the requirements of customer means we have to identify the requirements of the customer. And as you know that the customer's requirements are changing regularly. If the customer's requirements are frequently changing, accordingly we have to make the changes in our products. And if you have to do the changes in the products, you have to change the procedures. Okay, that is what the hierarchy of the Six Sigma means. If the requirements of our customer are changing, accordingly we have to do changes in our processes, in the product. So always we have to talk about the, or always we have to give the thought on the processes. Okay, always we have to give thought on the requirements of the customers. We should focus on the improvement in the procedures. There should be always a focus on the identifying the variations. Then, okay, so all these 4 steps are we're adopting. But most important, teams and leaders should be appointed. Now, who is going to do all these things? So, in the organization, we have to develop some teams, and the leaders mean the coordinators, we can say the department heads. So, or the team head. So team and leaders should be appointed So you have to develop such kind of teams, quality teams or Six Sigma teams. We have to appoint one coordinator for that, head for that. Not only appointment, but also the training in Six Sigma method so that they can serve properly. So development of the team, formulation of the team, appointment of the team leaders, and most important, all these people should be given training how to execute the Six Sigma philosophy in the organization. If they have been trained properly, they can execute properly. If they have been trained properly, they can execute properly and they can serve properly. So this is the way the Six Sigma principles are aligned. Now, concept of Six Sigma project. So now let us consider that we have decided, or the organization has decided to adopt the Six Sigma philosophy. How to apply the Six Sigma project in the organization? So Six Sigma project is implemented in any department of company. Well constructed steps are taken. So it is required to take some methodology and targets are undertaken to improve the production. So while adopting the Six Sigma project in the organization or in the particular department, what are the points should be taken into consideration? So first point is what? To reduce the production cycle time. What is the production cycle time? Cycle time means what? Time required to complete a one activity. And because in a day we have to do this activity 100 times, 200 times. So what is the time required to complete a particular product? What is the time required to complete a particular process? That is called as a cycle time. Okay. So how to reduce the production cycle time? So let us consider that in an automobile company, daily they are manufacturing 10 cars. So the cycle time is what? 10 cars per day and 300 cars per month. If you want to increase, if you want to reduce the cycle time, if you reduce the cycle time, is what will happen? The more number of cars will be manufactured. So instead of 10 cars per day, we have decided to target have 15 cars per day. So you have to reduce the time required to complete a single car. So that is what a cycle time. Then how to reduce the scrap generated from the production? Lot of wastage are generated from the production, and the wastage in terms of what? The material. Okay. So if there is a lot of scrap is generated from the waste production, means what? We are losing the money and time also. So how to reduce the scrap generated from the production? That point should be taken care, and that should be considered while adopting the Six Sigma. The first point is how to reduce the production cycle time. Second time, how to reduce the scrap, how to reduce the waste. Third, how can one increase the customer satisfaction? One of the department has to be given the task to identify the customer requirements and how we can increase the customer satisfaction. So nowadays there is a customer care number. That customer care number reflects what? This has been given for what reason? So that customer can contact a particular company and they can resolve their issues. Earlier this concept was not there. Customer care number. Okay, that customer care number is introduced because we have to take the customer's cares in terms of we have to resolve their issue immediately. Means indirectly we are satisfying the customer requirement. So in what way we can increase the customer satisfaction level? That point should be taken care or should be considered while adopting the Six Sigma philosophy in the organization. Then how to decrease the factory defects to negligible? If the products are defective, how we can reduce these defects in the products, defects in the construction, defects in a particular construction activity to zero. To negligible means what? There should be zero defect concept. All the product should be of zero defect philosophy. There should not be any defect in the product. So for thought should be given how to decrease the defects in the product to negligible. Negligible means what? non-defective product. And how to reduce the cost of reworking. Rework means what? Let us take an example that the plastering activity is completed, and after 2 or 3 days it was observed that there are huge cracks in the plaster. There are huge cracks in the plaster, or the plaster is cracked. So what we have to do, once again I have to do some maintenance work on that plastering. That is nothing but the rework, because already we have completed the plastering activity on a particular wall. So it has to be of a desired quality, and we are expecting that there should not be any formation of a crack or the splashing of uh, plastering work. But after 2 or 3 days or after a week, it was observed that there is a cracks have been formed. Okay, there is a splashing of plastering work. Means we have to once again repair it. So that kind of repairing is also consume some cost. We have to deploy the labor for that particular activity. We have to consume some. We have to also it consumes some material also, because we have to use the material for repairing work. So these are the costs which are called as the cost of reworking. So what this slide explains, when we are talking about Six Sigma project implementation, we have to consider some points, and accordingly we have to develop the method in the organization. So we have to develop some methods, technique, or the process by which we can reduce the production cycle time. Also, thought should be given on how we can reduce the wastages. How can you how can one increase the customer satisfaction? Our product must be non-defective or zero defective product, and there should not be a reworking on a completed product or manufactured product. So next part is another scientist, Neve. He has defined Six Sigma, or rather he has explained Six Sigma is nothing but, these are the 5 steps, nothing but the DMAC. What is DMAC? So define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So he's explaining the Six Sigma philosophy or method as nothing but this DMAIC method. So DMAIC means what? These are the 5 steps. If these 5 steps are followed for manufacturing any product, means we are achieving the Six Sigma. That is what his approach. So D stands for the defining, M for measurement, A for analyze, I for improve, and C for control. Okay, so this is what the DMAC, DMAIC. We will see this in the next lecture. Each step in detail. So just for today's lecture, the Six Sigma, according to Neve, is what? The Six Sigma methodology must include the 5 steps: define, measurement, analyze, improve, control. And in short, it is written as DMAIC. So we are at the end of the today's lecture. Now we will discuss what we have. So we have to conclude today's lecture. So what we have discussed today? Yes, anyone? What we have discussed today? Hemant Patil? Hemant Patil, what we have discussed today? कुरकुटे, समाधान साळवे, प्रणव काळे. समाधान साळवे आहे का? प्रणव काळे or anyone? Yes, what we have discussed today? Kunal Sanap. Samruddhi. Samruddhi Desai, what we have discussed today? Kunal Jagtap. Someone has to conclude today's lecture. What we have discussed today?
Sir, we have seen the history of the Six Sigma.
Yes, this is the one of the things we have discussed today. Any other things?
Sir, in today's lecture, we have covered some part of Six Sigma. In that, we have studied literature review. In that, we have studied some papers related to Six Sigma, like a researcher, like paper of researcher like Pandey. Also, we have studied principles of Six Sigma. Also, we have studied objective of Six Sigma, concept of Six Sigma, and last point we have covered name objectives. In that we have studied DMAIC means
Hmm.
define, measure, analyze, improve, and control.
Yes, initially we have started with the what are the definitions given by the various researchers. So one of the researchers have defined Six Sigma as a statistical method of collection of data. Okay, it's a method of collection of data, and then the data is required to process, and after processing the data, we have to find out the what are the reasons behind the defects. Okay, this is what one of the research has to. Another research has defined as it should be a strategic approach. It should be a strategy in the organization. It should be strategy in the organization, and it should be applicable or it should work at all level. All level means at the product level, at the process level, and at the service level. Then one of the scientists has defined in another way. What was that definition given by the Pandey? Yes, in terms of some number. Yes, anyone? In terms of number.
3.4, it is the approach in which 3.4 defect per million, uh, per,
Opportunity. Okay.
per million opportunity.
3.4 defects are allowed in 10 million products. Means 1 lakh. Oh, sorry, 1 million means 10 lakh products. So that kind of perfection is expected in the Six Sigma. Okay, that kind of perfection is expected in the Six Sigma level. So there is a level of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we are talking about the 6, we are expecting that if we are manufacturing 1 million product, then 3.4 products. So let us say 4 products are allowed to be defective, but all other products must be of desired quality. Okay. Then what we have said is the history of Six Sigma. So history of Six Sigma started with from 1920. The inspection was considered as important. Then statistical tools were used. So there are various tools. We are going to see all these tools, 7 quality control tools like histogram, Pareto chart, checklist, that kind of things, scatter diagram. So these tools are used for quality control tools. Okay. Then the TQM philosophy were adopted by the companies. And then Six Sigma approaches comes in the picture. Then we have seen the principles of the Six Sigma. So when you're talking about Six Sigma means what Six Sigma? So principles to be followed in the Six Sigma is what? Identify the causes of errors. Then eliminate these errors. They eliminate the errors and improve the procedure of working, improve the process. Then what we have studied, what we have discussed, after improvement, what we have to do, we have to formulate some teams in the organization, quality teams, quality circles. They should be trained for this Six Sigma methodology so that they can apply in the organization. Then what we have seen at the end, DMAC. DMAC. What is DMAC? So another scientist, SNE has introduced Six Sigma as a DMAC methodology. DMAIC. We'll see in the next lecture in detail what is DMAIC, but for the today's session. These are the 5 steps to be followed in the Six Sigma philosophy. That is define, measure, analyze, inspect, and control. We'll see all these steps in detail in the next lecture. Okay, just a minute. Don't go. Just a minute.